you willing to go on record to promise no new taxes?
Don't know.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
No.
I already said no.
No.
Can I get a promise? So when you say no, does that mean no?
All right, we'd like for each candidate to do a 2-minute closing. Please keep it at 2 minutes. Mr. Stefano.
Sure. Let me thank again the NAACP for hosting this event, our panel for joining us, and I want to acknowledge the candidates for mayor and their effort, their energy. To all of you supporters of one or the other of us coming. I also want to acknowledge Kathy Stefano. Thank you for coming out, Kathy, and listening to this all the time and being here to say this. Since I run for mayor, I don't run for a section of the city or for one group of people. I don't stand here against anyone or against any idea. But I do stand for some things. I do stand for a city that comes together and solves problems together. I do stand for a city that sees one group's challenge as their challenge. I do stand for a city that has created jobs when every other central city in Connecticut has lost jobs over the last 5 years. It has added population when other cities have lost population in New England. It has had the strongest economic development and tax-based growth, creating taxes without raising the mill rate for the community. I stand for a city that believes that every child should learn and sets that expectation and that they can go to college and succeed in college. I stand for a city with cops.
30 seconds.
With cops who did what Louis Casanova did this Saturday night, to put him in the hospital, to put themselves in the line, day in and day out, to protect people, teachers who come to educate our kids. I am proud to be part of this city. I am thankful for the opportunity to have served as mayor. It's given me so much. It's been such a wonderful thing to be part of my hometown. And I thank you all for listening to us.
Thank you. Mr. Dorff.
I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank my colleagues on the NAACP. I am the second vice president in the NAACP. I was taking a leave of absence from this organization to run for mayor. I do represent everyone in the city. I would love to see myself as the mayor representing everyone in the city. I did that so well as an alderman for 16 years. As I said earlier, the youngest ever elected to the Board of Aldermen in New Haven, and out of the 10 years I have not been in office, there's no one that surpassed me in legislation passed on the New Haven Board of Aldermen before me or after me at this current time. No one has passed me new legislation or current legislation. So, what is Tony saying? Tony saying, out of all the candidates up there running against John Stephan, I have the most qualified track record in terms of working on the Board of Aldermen, working as acting mayor in New Haven, working with the various departments, and they know that I took care of business when I was there, and I will take care of business for you as the mayor.
30 seconds.
This city's in a crisis. Let's face it, it's in a crisis. It's in a crisis where it's going to take a whole lot of money to get this situation under control. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice. It's going to take a lot of prioritizing, meaning, do you take care of a sidewalk in front of a senior citizen place, or do you take care of a sidewalk that's near a cemetery?
10 seconds.
Those are the kinds of prioritizing things that I would do to make sure that the people that deserve the best services in New Haven will get the best services. The cronyism will stop. Hiring people just because they're my friends or I owe them favors. That's why Tony Dawson don't have much in his culture right now in terms of the money that I'm trying to go door to door with neighbors and people and business people and get my money that way. I'm not getting it from just asking people who are doing business in the way or administrators to give me money. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Dawson. Mr. Williams.
Thank you again to everyone for putting on the event and also coming. There's one reason and only one reason why there are 4 people on the stage instead of just one. Throughout the last decade, 5 elections, there's not been a serious contender for any party, most certainly not the Democrats. Why this year? Why have those of us fought challenging the mayor, fought so hard for signatures? battle through the administration's roadblocks to democracy. It's because it's not working for us anymore. John's formula for governing isn't relevant to today's challenges. And deep inside, you know that. If it was, our children wouldn't be dying in the streets like they are. And a generation of children who have passed through the Canadian public schools under his watch would all be educated well. 40 to 50% dropout rate is what we have now. Many of those folks who make it to college need tutors to stay in. We have new schools, but we have old educational outcomes. If John was relevant to our problems, our youth and their parents would be employed. Some 20% of them are not, and we're increasingly dependent on just eds and meds. If John's formula is working so well, our city budget would be balanced, fair, and affordable. We'd have money for new ideas, or an even version of something that's working elsewhere, like the Delancey Street project for prisoners.
30 seconds.
Or the Harlem Children's Zone that I talked about earlier. But we have no money unless we find a grant for some old suspect we raised Yale for some money. Principles, not patronage, will guide my administration. Real jobs can be created by urging and helping entrepreneurs to create businesses like Sandra's second generation. We have money in this budget, we need to deploy it and prioritize it, and we would quit begging for it. We need fresh ideas on old problems,
15 seconds.
not old rhetoric. We need a new choice, not an old one. Now, my name is Jeffrey Kreekes, and I asked for permission to be on the ballot, and now I'm asking you for your support in being mayor. And I hope you'll say yes again, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Gray.
Good evening again, and we thank you all for being here this evening. You know, NAACP leadership, since YBC, the great work you've done, and certainly Principal Kermit Carolina here. He'll have from the best appointments Dr. Mayo ever made under his tenure. He's doing a great job here. My parents moved here to New Haven over 40 years ago at the urging of Dr. Edwin Edmonds, a great leader, civil rights leader, minister in this community, who instilled in all of us a sense of purpose and a sense of giving back, making a difference in this community. I've served, my mother was a school teacher for 35 years in Truman. My father worked to develop housing, affordable housing, citizens and neighbors in our community. My siblings and my children are both products of New Haven Public Schools. Graduated from Tufts University, Georgetown Law School, worked as a lawyer in Benedito and John Daniel, worked as administrator in Housing Authority, and administrator of Suffolk State University, a teacher for 15 years at Gateway, vice president of Amistad America. I'm sharing all this with you to show the breadth and depth of experience. So those are the types of experiences that one needs to be made, to be able to sit down and talk with custodians and clerical folk, with college presidents, with business execs in a meaningful way, in a respectful way, and has respect in return. You are the shareholders, the stockholders of a $700 million corporation that's going down the tubes, financially, educationally, and in public safety. You need to change the CEO. You need to change the CEO of that corporation. As I said on the campaign trail for the last few months, you also believe in the fact that akin to a ship adrift at sea, albeit with an experienced captain who apparently has lost his way. And you are the crew and the passengers on 30 seconds. The crew and passengers on that ship that's leading for the financial crisis, the education crisis, and the public safety crisis. You need to change the captain on that ship. You need to steer the ship in a new direction so we can plug the holes in the leaks on that ship. If you elect Tipton Graves as your next mayor, I promise you, I'll be a better captain, I'll be a better CEO. Elect me. New direction, new voice, new Haven. It's what the Proverbs was. It's what the Proverbs just said, without vision, the people perish. Without vision, the people perish. Our children are perishing. We need a new vision, a new voice, a new